Here's why it's a freedom currency, because governments can't stop transactions. They can't reverse transactions. They can't get involved in transactions. It's hands off for government.
Minister Nally, thank you very much for doing this interview.
My pleasure.
Just got off your panel here at the CBC's fourth trade mission, day number 4. Pretty sure everyone's a bit exhausted. You had a reception last night.
It was.
Why are you here? Why do you come time and again? And you've been abroad as well, I think, with the CBC.
I have, because I love the work that the Canadian Blockchain Consortium is doing.
Yep.
And I like the message, and I like what it means for Alberta, because at the end of the day, what we really care about is jobs for Albertans,
Yep.
mortgage-paying jobs, and investment for the province. That's what we care about, and we see blockchain as a great opportunity to be able to be a part of this industry and to have that ecosystem in Alberta and to grow. So we have a very diversified economy. I mean, we have fintech that's here right now. We have other advanced industries. We have de Havilland that announced they're going to start building airplanes in Alberta. Mm-hmm. Who ever thought that we'd build airplanes here? The fact is, we've got a diversified economy. And data miners are absolutely welcome in the province of Alberta. So we're here just to tell the Alberta advantage. And the Alberta advantage is we've got low corporate taxes, we've got reduced red tape, we're a business-friendly environment. There is no better place. Affordable housing. People are moving to Alberta and setting immigration records that we have never seen. Investment is following. And so there's never been a better time to be in Alberta because of the opportunity, our strong economy. And I just want Bitcoin miners and everyone around that ecosystem to know they are welcome in Alberta. Our doors are open.
Loud and clear. I can think of one reason why you would want to build airplanes, because you're a landlocked province, and the next biggest city is a little bit of a drive away, but it is a beautiful drive.
Listen, if somebody wants to come here and build airplanes, we want them to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I'm really curious, like, why is Alberta the most open, the most, I guess, supportive of an industry that admittedly is still very controversial by global standards, not even just Canadian?
Alberta is the most freedom-loving jurisdiction in Canada. In fact, we're often compared to Texas. They call us the Texas of the North because Albertans value freedom. Our premier is the most freedom-loving premier in the country. She is a leader amongst conservatives, a leader amongst her colleagues across the country. And when we look at Bitcoin, we see freedom currency. One of the reasons that people vilify Bitcoin is because they think it's currency of choice for drug dealers and other bad actors. And the fact is that Bitcoin is not a secret currency. So it's probably the most transparent currency because you can actually follow the transactions along the blockchain. So it's incredibly transparent. But here's why it's a freedom currency, because governments can't stop transactions. They can't reverse transactions. They can't get involved in transactions. It's hands off for government.
You realize how hearing this from a provincial minister, it seems almost like contradictory, right? I mean, because some Bitcoiners on the hardline side of things, and I don't think I'll be ruffling any feathers saying this, are kind of saying that Bitcoin is a way to disempower governments, right? So, I mean, you don't in any way feel threatened by Bitcoin?
No, because we are the United Conservative Party. We are a fiscally conservative government, and we believe in less government. My job as a minister is to get government out of the way of industry.
Red tape reduction.
Red tape reduction. It's in the title that I have. I'm the Minister of Service Alberta and Red Tape Reduction. And so it's just a natural fit that we would want a freedom currency, and Bitcoin is that. We're not suggesting that we trade in the Canadian dollar, but we think that it's an excellent currency, that it offers a tremendous opportunity, and yeah, we love the freedom aspect of it, but we love the jobs that go along with it.
I don't know if you can answer that question, but do you own any Bitcoin?
I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to?
No.
So you're not allowed to own it or to say it?
No, I'm not allowed to own it.
Okay.
So I'm not allowed to own stocks.
How does that work? Okay.
Well, because I'm a Minister of the Crown, so I can't own
No,
stocks.
I understand.
Trade.
It's not the same as a stock, though.
No, but
That's
I can't. Yeah, I think it would be equivalent to trading currencies.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is very speculative, and because it's so speculative, it would look like I was trading currencies.
Yeah.
And that's just not something that I'm allowed to do.
Yeah.
I can own mutual funds.
Right.
But if I'm going to get involved in any type of speculative stocks or currencies, it has to be in a blind trust, and I wouldn't even know if they were investing in Bitcoin.
Hey, You just said you're part of a conservative government, so I wouldn't expect anything less, but I thought I'd ask anyway. I know we're limited for time. I'm looking at the clock there, but I would like to talk a little bit about the future and about the vision you have for the economy of Alberta and by extension of Canada, because Alberta is still part of Canada last time I checked. Where do you see crypto fitting in the makeup of Canada's economy, Alberta's economy?
Let me say that right now, I believe that Alberta is entering the biggest economic boom that this province has ever seen. The country is looking at single-digit GDP growth. They're forecasting almost 3% GDP growth for us for the next 12 months. There is some headwinds.
The country.
For the country is looking at single-digit GDP growth. Alberta is looking at 3% GDP growth at a time when there are economic headwinds suggesting recessionary factors may be at play. And the fact is, our economy is showing no signs of slowing down. When we got elected in 2019, we had a jobs crisis. We don't have that. Sorry, we had a jobs crisis. Now we have an employee crisis. We have more jobs than people. And now it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have. I'd rather have it the other way around.
Yeah.
But the fact is, our economy is on fire in Alberta, and it's a diversified economy. And we see Bitcoin being a significant part of that strong economy. I'm hearing of global investors that are in Alberta today that are looking at making significant investments in data centers for things like Bitcoin mining, and I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars worth of investment, and they're looking for places where they can build.
Now, whether we like it or not, global investors right now are kind of let's say subject to an ESG narrative, which is truly global, which Canada abides to. I know Alberta has had different positions, and I completely respect that, of course. But I'm wondering how you see that fitting, because the common narrative that is usually anti-Bitcoin uses the energy usage of Bitcoin and perhaps misunderstands some of the unique opportunities. Are you aware of the opportunities Bitcoin presents to actually fit in a sort of ESG future?
I absolutely am, but you opened the Pandora's box, you said it, so I've got to respond. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. But unfortunately, people only focus on the environment. And the fact is, there's two other letters in ESG. And when you look at energy-producing regions, Alberta has some of the highest ESG scores in the world when you compare us to other energy producing regions. But nobody tells you that. So we actually have high ESG standards in this province. We always will. And the fact is, Bitcoin lines up into that nicely because of the fact that you generate the wealth at the wellhead, and you don't need to put it into a pipeline to send it across the world. You could use bandwidth to do it. So from that perspective, its environmental footprint of Bitcoin is relatively small. There are many advantages and many reasons why Bitcoin will enhance the diversified economy that we have, and it will contribute to our high ESG scores.
Someone put it in a way that I thought was so eye-opening for me yesterday. It was Alberta has struggled for years, and Canada by extension, to export its vast oil and gas reserves. And now the demand is actually coming to Alberta.
Demand is coming to Alberta. We don't need to build pipelines to the world, because in the case of Bitcoin, it's coming to where the resource is. And it's absolutely wonderful news, and it also speaks well to our ESG as well. So we're very proud of that.
You are an elected official, and you may not be there forever. So what do you think will stay regardless of who's in power in Alberta as it pertains to Bitcoin and to blockchain technology? What do you think? What are you sure is going to stay?
We have a strong economy. We have a conservative province. We have the fundamentals in place. Things such as we have the lowest corporate taxes in the country. Our corporate taxes are so low, we're actually in line with Louisiana and Texas. We have reduced 33% of the regulatory requirements in our province in 5 years. So just think about that. We counted all the regulatory requirements when we first got elected in 2019, and there's over 600,000. We've removed over 200,000 of them. Those are the critical success factors for strong economies and healthy economies. And so whether I'm whether this is my last term or my third from the last term, the fact is the economy is bigger than just one or two ministers. It's bigger than one caucus. We are putting in the principles in place today that will ensure that our economy continues to fire on all cylinders tomorrow.
Great way to end this interview. Thank you very much, Minister Nally. 10 minutes on the clock, I think.
All right, excellent.